Adventures in Side Projects, Episode 2. Weird intro. Good morning. It is 9 a.m. Bright, early. I'm pretty tired, so I'm going to be drinking some coffee during this. And updating you on my side project that I've been working on, which is a job board called Jobs in DevRel. It's a job board for developer advocates, developer relations people generally, people working in the developer experience field. And in episode 1, we covered basically the idea and then the software itself. So it's a piece of software called Niceboard. You can go check out the first episode. It's pretty short if you want to kind of wrap your head around it. And today, more practically, we're going to look at something that I talked about in the first episode as kind of one of the most crucial bits of getting something like this up and running and being successful. And it's like a minor thing, so we're gonna, well, it's crucial, but it's also minor, if that makes sense. Like the crucial bit is growth, right? Is getting people in the door looking at jobs, both from the perspective of an applicant, so someone who is interested in finding a new job, and then also people who want to post said jobs. So today we're going to be looking at how to use Zapier, though there is all kinds of other tools. You could build this yourself. You could use a tool called Integromat, which I've heard a lot about as well. I'm just very familiar with Zapier, so I'm going to use it for this. And we're just going to build kind of a Twitter automatic job posting thing for this. And we'll also talk about how it could be better in the future. I already have a couple things I know aren't going to be perfect, and I'll kind of point those out as we walk through it. And hopefully, as we walk through it, I can kind of explain why this is important and why this is a good next step in terms of what to build. The main focus, I think, as I said in the past, in the first episode of the series, is going to be like, how can we build this in a way that isn't causing me to spend 14 hours coding something over the next couple days. Like, the idea is that it's this kind of no-code-ish project that has the potential to be a legitimate business and stuff like that. And so tools like Zapier and all kinds of automation tooling are the perfect fit for doing something like that. So let's get into it. Before we actually start building something using Zapier, I want to talk a little bit about what's changed since you last saw this site. So I can't remember exactly if I designed the logo and the favicon and stuff like that, but the main sort of thing here that I think really makes a difference is there are real jobs here now, and it looks pretty cool. So there's, Cloudflare Developer Advocate, which is the first one that I had in the original video. And then I went and found a lot of other companies and jobs and put them up here. You can see it looks like a real job board now, which is really cool. I also updated the job pricing. I'm doing a launch price of $99, and that's, I think, not super crucial right now because I can't imagine that someone's going to post a job here right now. Frankly, I would not. It's this random untested job board. And I've been thinking already about kind of that side of it and how to make that appealing to people who are, companies who need to post a job or something like that. But for now, we're just going to worry about getting this information, new jobs, to Twitter using Zapier. So let's actually go and look at the Twitter. It's twitter.com/jobsinddevrel. 1 following, 3 followers. So if you want to go follow it, you should. I'll put a link to that in the description. And the idea is that every time a new job is posted here, or posted on the website, we'll be able to have a tweet here that says, for instance, Contentful is hiring a developer evangelist, US West, and then there'll be a link that takes you to this job. So it's going to drive traffic to the website, and it's also going to be a selling point for people posting the job. Hey, by the way, we're going to also share your post on our Twitter, etc., etc. Okay, so here's how this is going to work. if I come into my nice board dashboard, this is like kind of the back end for my job board, and I go to manage board, and then I go to other. It's actually not other, it's jobs RSS. You can see that I have this RSS feed here for new jobs. If I open that up, and I'll just make this a little bit bigger. So each job here has an item, and this is going to be representing basically a new job as it gets posted. So developer evangelist, US West, description, Contentful is hiring a developer evangelist, US West. And then you have this link, which is like the URL. So in this case, basically all that we're going to want to do is pull this description, Contentful is hiring a developer evangelist, and a link to send people to, to the job board. Like I said, we're going to use Zapier for this. So Zapier is an automation tool that basically lets you connect different services together. And so the idea is that we'll use an RSS service and say, when there is a new item on this RSS feed, go and make a tweet based on that data. So I'm just going to sign in with Zapier. I already have an account, and I have a couple zaps set up, things like Discord notifications and stuff like that. But I'm just going to make a new zap for now, and I'm going to say, how about RSS? It's already actually right there. Say new item in feed. Make this a little bit bigger too. I'm going to grab this URL here, and you can take this RSS feed and, by the way, if you are an RSS person and you enjoy reading it, you can take it and add it to your feed, your reader thing if you want. Totally fine. It's public, obviously, so you do whatever you want with it. And then what triggers a new feed item, so different GUI ID or URL. So this is going to be like, how does Zapier know that this is a unique job posting? So in this case, the GUI ID, I don't know if that's the GUID. In this case, that's that URL, right? So each of these URLs here, so it's jobsindevrel.com/jobs/13158. This one is 13157. So this is a unique URL, right? So this will be fine. I think you could probably do like a custom thing here depending on how your RSS is set up, but this works for us. So we got that set up, and now we'll just test it. So you can see it just pulled an item here. So there's both the raw, which is probably like the raw data before it goes through the RSS parser. And then there's this information here, like link and title and description. Okay, so that looks good. Let's continue. And I'm gonna actually make this, it's like too big, the text. We'll make it a little bit, there we go, that's better. So now I'm going to go to Twitter, and I'm going to create a tweet. I'm going to have to sign in with my account. So I'll say connect a new account. I don't want to follow Zapier. There it is, Jobs in DevRel. Okay, so I've set up the account, and now I'm going to do my actual tweet content. So basically the way that this works is it's going to pull all the information here from the RSS feed and make it available as variables. So I can add my own kind of stuff here. For now, I'm just going to say description. So it'll say, for instance, Contentful is hiring a developer evangelist. And then I will say link. And then maybe what I'll just do here is I'll say like DevRel, just to give it like a hashtag. Okay, so that is our tweet content. There's no image video here. Should it shorten URLs? I usually don't like custom URL shorteners because I feel like Twitter also shortens URLs, so we don't want like a double like Zapier shortened URL, which gets shortened by Twitter. So I'm just gonna say no for now. And I'm gonna save and continue. And then we can test this. So let's say test and continue. A tweet was sent to Twitter. Let's come back to our profile. And you can see Contentful is hiring a developer evangelist, US West, hashtag DevRel, and it has a link to this, to this job board. So that worked, and that was it. It's a 2-step process basically, right? So I'm going to say turn on Zap, and now it's on, and that's it. So it's going to run every 15 minutes based on my plan, because I'm on the free plan. I'm just going to give it a name here. I'm going to say post jobs in DevRel postings to Twitter. So here's some things I think I said at the beginning of the video that I wish were a little bit different. So if I come in here and I come to, say, for instance, the Cloudflare developer advocate job posting. So if I come here, you can see there's actually a fair amount of sort of rich information. So developer advocate, full-time, Austin, Texas. All of that stuff is like location, job type, and there's also things like website and Twitter. So like Twitter here is actually a link to @Cloudflare. And what I want to be able to do is to actually get this information, all of this information, and bring it into the tweet. So for instance, I can say @Cloudflare is hiring a developer advocate, parentheses, Austin, Texas, USA. Or, back to the one that we just tweeted, Contentful is hiring a developer evangelist, US West, parentheses, remote. And like that Contentful is a @Contentful. And the advantage to that is that you're going to get people retweeting that post from their company account, which is a win for us in terms of discoverability. And then you also get that information, like if someone wants to know that it's remote and it says it in the tweet, that's a win in terms of like how helpful and kind of enticing that tweet is to actually click the link. So with that being said, all of that is not available here in this RSS item, right? What I could do is I could build something like go, in Zapier, go look up this URL and get that information. Though more likely what I'm going to do is wait for Niceboard's API support. So I've been talking to Olivier, who I mentioned in the last video is the guy who's working on Niceboard. And there is basically, like I mentioned in the last video, I bought Niceboard through this AppSumo lifetime deal. And there's like a lifetime upgrade to the like Pro Super Deluxe Plus version of Niceboard, which includes API support. So I spent like $99 on the lifetime thing, and it's like $199 to upgrade from, at least at time of recording this video, to upgrade from that to the like Deluxe, Premium, Pro, etc. So with API support, then what I could do is like actually just update the Zapier to hit the API directly instead of the RSS feed. And then I can do things like, @Contentful, where that would be, I would assume like job.company.twitter or something like that, right? So I can pull that information out and I can do something that's a little bit more detailed. But for now, this app or Zapier task, whatever you want to call it, works totally fine. Though the other thing that I guess I need to figure out, if I come back here, the thing that is not ideal, I think here, is that it's not running all my past RSS things, right? So it's actually going to skip these. And I mean, if I refresh, yeah, so it's not posting them. Doesn't look like. So I'll have to go look up also if there's a way to like backfill those tasks, because right now it's just going to post based on new ones, and I have like 7 or 8 things that I want to get shared onto the Twitter account. So my thinking and kind of prioritization in all of this was like, first set up the job board with Niceboard, which is done. I did that in the first video. Add some data, some real jobs, which I did in between these videos. And then now starting to think about like, okay, how do I get people to the site? So if Zapier is set up, new posts come in. For now, that's probably still going to be me like manually setting this up and drive traffic to the job board. Then people will start to sign up. Companies will start to be aware of it, though of course, there's still a lot of like launch things that need to be figured out. And all of this is kind of supposed to be a very focused, and like I said, I don't want to spend 14 hours coding some really ridiculous solution to this problem. I want to focus in on the things that need to get done so that I can just, get to hacking on hopefully making this a profitable project. And this is one big part of that. There's things that could be improved. Like I said, the API integration will be great, and I'm sure I'll come back and cover that. And having access to that API will let me do all kinds of other things as well. But this is like a good 80% there solution that solves this problem for me. And then, I can come back when I'm ready and do the rest of this probably in another episode of this series. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. And if you have any questions about Zapier, about no code automation and stuff like that, or if I did something wrong and you're like, you should do it better, I would love to hear from you. Make sure to leave a comment and yeah, subscribe and turn on notifications, and you'll get the next Adventures in Side Project episode 3, a notification on your phone when that goes live, hopefully here in the next week and a half or so. So yeah, thanks so much, and see you in the next one.